going on, guys? We have a new edition of Fisher Fitness today, so we're actually going to be talking with my boy Sal. He's been on these videos before. We're going to actually have a little conversation about things we wish we knew when we started lifting, because I feel like that's a really big topic that we've just learned a lot of over the years, and we want to be able to share that information with you guys. So, I mean, first thing, we're going to go in kind of order of things that we did. The first one, we're going to talk about what we thought of the anabolic window and how important it was.
Yeah, it's actually something that is very discussed among all bodybuilders and athletes. And it's very important to remember that it's just things you hear, theories that people talk about, whether you take your protein right after your workouts, which is going to help you increase recovery. But overall, it's important to remember that it's...
So anabolic window.
Yes.
Tell me, how about this? Tell me what you did when you started working out, like, because you thought it was super important.
Oh my God, when I first started working out, all I thought about was I have to take my protein right after I finish working out or else I'm going to lose my muscle. That's exactly what I thought about every single time.
Okay.
Imagine this for years, all right? I didn't know anything else other than that. If I just knew that that wasn't something that was really important, it would have saved me a lot of time and mess, because I dropped a lot of protein shakes in my backpack, all right? Let me tell you something. It's not trying to clean up,
trying to
man.
get that protein in instantly.
You're right, man.
Yeah, I know for me it was like, I would always hear the story of it's not even worth working out if you didn't get your protein shake in 30 minutes after.
Oh, man.
It was just terrible. So I'd like be running back to my dorm in college trying to get stuff in as quick as I can.
Oh, yeah.
And then it probably takes like a half hour to an hour to digest anyways when you think about it. So
yeah.
It doesn't even matter. But on that topic, one of the things that I know I've kind of learned, Sal can attest to this as well, is that anabolic window is really more like a barn door. It's really not as narrow as you think. If you have been fasted all day and you work out, it probably is important to get your meals in right afterwards when you work out. But if you've had 2 or 3 meals in before your lift and you've been drinking on, I mean, Gatorade like Sal and I do when we lift, it's probably not that imperative to get it instantly when you're done working out.
Yeah, and it's always crucial to remember that the calories in versus calories out, that's going to make the biggest difference as far as your body composition goes.
Yeah, the second one kind of goes in with a little nutrition.
Okay.
Just everyone thinks carbs are bad. I mean,
oh man, dude, that's the main one. If I had to remember a funny story about this real quick is, I would train every morning fasted for like 3 months. I think I did.
Oh, because it burns more fat.
Yeah, supposedly burns more fat, and I wouldn't get nowhere, man. I would always feel tired, lethargic, just never in the mood to want to do anything.
Clayton would do this. Clayton would wake up at 6 a.m. and train.
And I thought that, oh my God, I'm losing weight, I'm doing this and that, but I was just honestly losing muscle.
Yeah,
that's what actually ended up happening.
And even on top of that, like, people think carbs are bad. Yeah. Heaven forbid that you had a single gram of sugar in your diet. That was that was the end of the world. But on the flip side of things now that we have learned better from our own experience in doing research, I mean, sugar might be an issue, like if you're losing weight, if you constantly overeat on sugar, but honestly, we have quite a bit of sugar during the day when we're working out and before and after to help replenish our glycogen. But
carbs are key. Carbs are key to your fuel, to your energy, to your workouts, and just it goes back into you using those tools, carbs, appropriately to get you to where you want to get. There's a time for everything, and carbs are one of those things that you definitely need to get you to your future goals, whatever you want to do. Unless you're doing a type of show where you need to cut carbs, which is important, and you're doing that for a small window, right? That's what you normally do, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as aggressive. I mean, it's not going to happen like 12 weeks out.
Yeah, because normally for a powerlifting competition, I only cut carbs if I really need to. The important is for me to make weight first in my current weight class, and then after that, after I make weight, I'm just starting to eat back again. But it's only for a small window where it'd be for like a week at the most that I cut carbs, depending on how much weight I got to cut.
So one of the other stories that we wanted to, or I should say topics we want to talk about from our experiences, we've both been injured quite a bit in our casts.
Oh, yes.
Mainly because we didn't do probably any stretching and stuff, right? Like no mobility back then.
No mobility, nothing at all.
But that's one of the things that I would say has changed the most in our training, just from...
Yeah, if I had to say, the number one thing would be activation and understanding what muscles you're using while doing any movements. It's crucial that you warm up properly before a workout, or you fully understand what you're doing, because other than that, you'll probably most likely be doing things wrong. I'm sure David can attest to this, but I mean, from experience of getting hurt, it's also a blessing because you actually learn. So you gotta take a step back sometimes to get better, and it's important that you take those bad experiences as learning experiences.
I mean, it sucks, but yeah, that's really the only way to get better. Because I know for me, I had a lot of shoulder problems. I think it was this side, and I actually had to get a shot in my shoulder because it was so bad. I had supraspinatus, tendonitis, and bursitis in the shoulder, and it was really bad. But long story short, I mean, it was because I wasn't doing any stretching, mobility. I wasn't doing any strengthening of my rotator cuff and all those muscles that help keep your shoulder stable.
Right.
And I mean, the shot helped it, but I had to decrease my weight on literally everything overhead. I was pressing, I think, 35s just to be safe. And then that's when I really started taking things seriously of like, okay, well, I guess I need to have healthy shoulders and joints, you know? So that was from my experience. I know you said back pain, right?
Yeah, so I had a crucial back injury maybe about almost a year ago, and it came when I was sumo deadlifting. By accident, my foot slipped underneath me and I heard a pop. So I slipped a disc. And the recovery from that injury was either, hey, they told me to get surgery, or, you know, it will never get fixed. And what I ended up doing was just relearning all the movements and just making sure that I knew what I was activating, what I was doing. And it came down to a lot of me being in bad positions when I was lifting. So I was being like an anterior tilt all the time, or just constantly moving. Stay still for a second.
Just in a less than optimal way. Like bad movement patterns, right?
Right.
I think one of the things that we've both done has been proper activation before we do our lift. So I know for me, squats, one of the things that is really overactive on me is my calves. So I mean, we would both have the same thing of we really make sure to loosen up our calves, keep our calves mobile, activate our glutes and our core at a time before we actually go and do the squats.
Yeah, so learning properly how to hip hinge is actually key, man. So before if I had to give you advice on what to do, is please learn the basic movements, which is learning how to hip hinge, learning what muscles you're activating, and most importantly, having someone not criticize, but give you what's the word?
Like constructive feedback.
Constructive criticism on your movement. Someone that you trust and you understand that they know what they're doing. So don't be scared to ask for help is also a big one. You know?
Yeah.
I think that was one of the main things as we got more into fitness and took it a little more seriously, was like asking for help. You know, and I don't think we didn't do it for pride or for ego, whatever the reason why we didn't do it, but I wish we would have done that sooner. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think when anyone starts, they think they know everything. And then when you start learning more, you realize you're like, I don't know anything.
To this day, I feel like I don't know anything.
Yeah, I think the more we learn, the less we think we know, which is kind of funny.
You're right.
So yeah, I know Sal has helped me a ton with that, of just like, hey man, can you like just watch me real quick, keep an eye for these things, because he knows my body, and I feel like I know his body. So having someone like that being able to give you feedback is a huge help with just learning form and proper movement.
It's important to remember, guys, that when you're going through training at any level, patience is key. We all tend to rush things and we all want quick results. The truth of the matter is there's no quick results, there's no quick answer, there's no fast way to get there. You have to put in the work, you have to be patient, and you have to be resilient, which is really key to anyone's success. And you got to block out whatever people may say, you know, you're not doing something right. Even if you're not doing something right, the fact that you're even trying, it's going to get you there. Why? Because you're going to continue to improve yourself as you go through your training process from the beginning to the end of your career. You're just going to get that much better each and every time you train. It's just facts, you know, unless you're not trying to get better.
I don't know why you would do that.
You're not trying to learn or look up anything. You just have to put in the work. It's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I think has really helped me is doing the stuff that people don't necessarily want to do. I mean, no one wants to see the boring stretching, activation, mobility stuff, but that's what keeps you healthy. And the last thing you want is an injury that's going to set you back a year or even longer than that. So it might seem boring and like mundane doing that stuff, but taking 10 to 15 minutes before or after you work out, that's going to keep you healthy and going to keep you progressing, because last thing you can't progress if you're unhealthy and your body's hurting. So just that's probably the biggest thing I've taken away, of just being patient, doing all that stuff, letting the weight come, not trying to load up tons of weight.
So big thing is ego lifting. Most of us have done it, which I could attest to that, and I've gotten hurt because of it. So just make sure to take your time and not rush the process, man. Really love the process, and that's just gonna make you even a greater person, an athlete, and it's gonna carry over to your personal life.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last topic. Hopefully you guys were able to get some useful information of things to hopefully start implementing in your training. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can always hit either of us up. My Instagram, David T. Fisher. Sal's is
Saltron at AEP.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to stay tuned for future content, and make sure to leave a comment. Tell us what you guys enjoyed about it. All right, see you in the next one.
Peace.